Danny's not here, Mrs. Torrance.
Shut up! That wasn't in the book! Hello beautiful bookworms, my name is Katarina and welcome to my channel. So today I've got for you a book review of a book that was actually a rereading for me, which means that I have read it once before, but I seriously could not remember the entire premise and the entire story, and for some reason I had the movie on my head while I was reading and not the book that I already read, if this makes any sense. So because I want to read the book that came out after this one that kind of works as a sequel, I decided I was going to reread this. And also because I am doing the Empty Shelfie Readathon, as you probably know, Spooky Shelfie Edition, and one of the challenges is to read something about something that you're scared of. And that for me is obviously this entire book. So yeah, why not reviewing this and be scared shitless the entire day after talking about this? So, without further ado, let's just travel in this horror show, shall we? So the book that I'm reviewing today, obviously as you can see by the title, is The Shining by Stephen King. And let's just appreciate this cover because this is a book that came with a newspaper, and it's just a beautiful cover. Sadly, it's based on the movie, but it's really pretty. It has the labyrinth, the mountains, the snow, creepy footprints, and other unpleasantries. But it's really nice. So The Shining, basically, for those of you that don't know, and I don't really want to spoil anyone for this, is the story of a family, the Torrance family, and it is constituted by Jack Torrance, the father, Wendy Torrance, the mother, and Danny Torrance, the child, that have to go and live in a hotel completely alone in the wintry months, so that the husband or father can work as a keeper of the hotel throughout those months until it opens again for the summery months. So we follow this family, and we follow mainly the character of the dad that is now unemployed and is a recovering alcoholic and has to get this job because this is the last chance that he has to build his life again, and he was given this job by a friend, and so he really wants to go and he really wants to do it. So when he's going to the interview to be accepted as the keeper of this hotel, the Overlook Hotel, he's told that the last keeper of the hotel killed his family and himself, and he was also a recovering alcoholic. So that's why there's being a little of a problem to hire him, because they don't want history to repeat itself, obviously. But he ends up being hired for this job, and so he and his family all move to the mountains, where they're going to be completely alone, and they can't leave the Overlook Hotel because of the snow and everything. They are trapped, and they are going to be there for a lot of months. So this is obviously already a little bit unsafe, in my opinion, and it's also something that could completely make you crazy, because when you're alone, even if you are 3 people, when you're alone in a giant hotel in the snowy, dark months of the year, you feel so much isolation that could completely just turn your head around. But without talking about that, what we need to know is that the hotel is not a normal hotel. It's an hotel that throughout history has had some murders, has had some creepy things going on, and that is another key factor for something going extremely wrong. So, another thing that you need to know, and that is not a spoiler, is that the son of this family, Danny Torrance, he has this kind of psychic powers. He is a shining, which is kind of a description that is given in this book for people that have psychic abilities in a way that can predict the future, or that can see and hear things that no one else can. And so you can probably see why that's problematic when you're going to a hotel that has a lot of death and a lot of evil history inside of it. So this is really creepy, really awesome, and I couldn't remember it very well because I read it a long time ago, and I was remembering the movie all the time, and I was thinking about lines of the movie and stuff that happened in the movie, and I was like, no, but I don't remember if this happened in the book. What is going on? And one of the things that I was really sad about, and spoilers for the movie for those of you that haven't seen it, I strongly recommend that you do, although it doesn't follow the key points of this plot for the most part, but it's really awesome. But if you can, read the book first because the book is amazing. So, spoiler alert for that. I was really sad because the twin sisters that happened to appear to Danny Torrance, which he is a 5-year-old kid. Let's just let that sink in. They don't appear in the book, and I was so sad because I couldn't remember that they didn't appear, that they weren't a key plot. Although they are mentioned, and you probably know that they are those twins, they never appear in this plot, and it's really sad. And I was waiting and waiting every turn of the page and every turn of the corridor, so I was like, they're going to appear now, and they didn't. And I was like, oh, you're right, this is the book, not the movie. So it's sad, but it happens. Spoilers over. So, first of all, this book is really creepy because I do believe that it has a lot of things to do with Stephen King's own experiences, because I do believe that he stayed with his wife in a hotel that is supposed to be the inspiration for this hotel, the Overlook Hotel, and that they were alone in the hotel and in a room that was considered cursed. Yeah, I don't know a lot about it, but I think it's already a spooky premise. And I also do believe that when he writes about alcoholism and his main character being an aspiring writer and alcoholic on recovery, I do believe that he's taking something from his personal experience. So that's always great because it always makes it seem a little bit more real. And that's what Stephen King's books are known for and terrifying, because they look real and they start to jiggle with your brain and you start thinking, well, is this real, or is he just writing about stuff that he's imagining? What is going on? Am I inside the story? Am I not inside the story? And this was great. I do enjoy The Shining. I only read Misery and The Shining by Stephen King. I am planning on reading more of his books because I absolutely adore his writing, but for me, The Shining is a great book. I love it so much, and I really hope that you guys pick this up if you haven't, because this is great. And it also, you have to see that although our main character is kind of Jack Torrance, the husband and father of this family, and we see a lot of things from his perspective, Danny Torrance is actually another very important character, and he's the one that gives the name The Shining to the book. So you have to know that. And he's 5 years old, and the fact that you have a child that sometimes, although Stephen King never does in this book first-person narration, sometimes you can see stuff through Danny's eyes, and it's even creepier because it's a 5-year-old child that doesn't even know what's going on, seeing flashes of stuff and being just things going after him, and it's really creepy. So if you want a little bit of creepy for Halloween, pick this up because you will feel like a child running away from your nightmares. I guarantee that. So that is all for my book review for The Shining, and I'm very sorry that I can't say anything else. I will probably try and do a kind of spoiler review one day for Stephen King's books. I don't know, I'm going to think about that because I don't really like to spoil people, but maybe for those of you that have read it, you would enjoy my thoughts more completely about this. So tell me something in the comments down below if you want me to do a spoiler review of The Shining, if you want to talk about that with me, or if you're cool with just knowing my non-spoiler opinions of The Shining. So obviously I do recommend this book a lot, even so that we are in October in the spooky season, so you can read spooky things, and obviously Stephen King is a king of spookiness, so just go and read it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, leave a like or subscribe down below. Tell me what you think about this book or what you think about the movie if you've seen it. Try not to spoil people, but talk to me about this. If you haven't seen the movie or picked up the book, I strongly recommend that you pick up the book because the movie doesn't really have the same plot, and sometimes it can be a little bit confusing, although I really enjoyed it. So tell me if you're thinking about picking this up. And that is all for today, guys, so happy readings to you all. Bye!